The message arrived at exactly 2:14 a.m. One line. No punctuation. No hesitation. We should talk. Her name lit up my screen like a warning sign in neon. I stared at it longer than I should have. Thumb frozen midair, heart suspended in that eerie stillness that comes only before a storm or after something vital has died. I didn't reply. Not right away. Not out of rage. This was calculation. Silence can be sharper than words. It forces people to hear their own guilt echo back at them. Lying in the dark, phone clenched tight in my hand, I listened to the steady whir of the ceiling fan slicing through the night. The other side of the bed was empty, cold, untouched. She hadn't come home in hours, but I already knew. Not all the pieces, just enough. Enough to recognize what that message truly meant. We should talk wasn't a question or a request. It was a scripted confession, spoken not for me, but for her. Her guilt had finally tipped the scale. Or maybe she wasn't guilty at all. Maybe she just wanted to be the one to twist the knife herself. Still, I didn't respond. I let her sit in the silence she created. When I eventually got out of bed, I didn't grab clothes or toiletries. I packed a notebook, a pen, and the spare key she never knew I had. It was time to gather evidence. The signs had come quietly. At first, she wore perfume on errands, applied lipstick just to hit the gym. She offered smiles that didn't quite meet her eyes. Said sorry for things I never mentioned. Touched my shoulder like it was a rehearsal, not affection. It wasn't fury that hit me, it was stillness. A vacuum that sucked all emotion from the room, along with her laughter, her kisses, her late returns home. I watched her, not like a suspicious spouse, more like a scientist observing a stranger in his own home. She moved around me like someone playing a part. Her phone stayed glued to her hand. Her gaze never lingered more than a second. She laughed at nothing, flinched when I touched her wrist. I wanted to ask, to rip the veil off and demand the truth. But no, emotion clouds clarity. And I needed certainty, not apologies. So I stayed quiet. Let her lie. People always show you who they are if you let them talk long enough. She had no idea I was listening. She didn't know I had already left her emotionally, mentally, everything but physically. I didn't start by snooping through her phone. That's rookie work. Instead, I reopened an old location-sharing app we'd installed years ago and forgotten. I tracked her routes, her detours. Office first, then somewhere else. Always the same building. Always the same time. Suite 804. A law firm. A friend of hers worked there. I got his name. Spotted his car. Watched him walk her to hers, hand settling a little too naturally on the small of her back. No kiss, at least not there. Not yet, but his eyes lingered. I documented everything. Every phone call. Every unexpected charge on our joint account. The flowers. The hotel bookings. Dinner reservations for 2 at places she'd never taken me. I didn't need to catch them in bed. I didn't need the audio of moans and gasps. I needed undeniable proof. And I got it. Receipts. Timestamps. GPS records. Even a voicemail she meant for him, calling him darling. A word she'd never used with me. That was all I needed. Not for confrontation. For precision. The next morning, over breakfast, I slid an envelope across the table. Right between her phone and her coffee. No words. She looked at it like it might explode. Inside, the full story. Photos. Logs. Voice recordings. A digital noose. Her face drained of color. Her fingers shook. Her lips parted, hunting for something to say. I raised one hand, stopped her. No, I said, quiet but final. She tried again. No. The silence between us grew thick. She reached for my hand. I stood up and walked away. No yelling. No slammed doors. She didn't follow. That was 2 weeks ago. Now she's parked in front of a house. In his SUV. Wearing his jacket. I recognized the watch on his wrist. It was my Christmas gift to him last year. Funny how things come full circle. She didn't look up at me. 2 men stepped between us. Security, or maybe just hired muscle. One cracked his knuckles. The other grinned like I was already on the ground. Then the lover got out. Smooth, confident. Your wife's mine now, he said. We packed her things. Figured we'd hospitalize you while we're at it. I smiled. Her betrayal was on her. But bringing them here? That was on him. I nodded toward the garage camera. The one I'd installed last week. Live stream. Police feed. Audio included. Premeditated assault. Trespassing. Threats. All caught on tape. Their mistake wasn't showing up. It was thinking I hadn't already won. They're gone now. The cops took care of it. She cried. Begged. Not for me, for herself. For the damage to her image. Too little. Too late. I watched through the window as they cuffed him. She turned toward me. I closed the door. Sat back down. Embraced the silence. Only this time it was mine. The truth is, the moment she picked him, I let her go. I didn't want revenge. I wanted clarity. And now I have it. I'm free. She isn't. She'll spend the rest of her life trying to explain. I won't say a word. She built this ruin. Now she can live inside it.